I'm Michael Conti, an energetic man, a tall man, an above-average marketing virtuoso and proud Houstonian. Welcome to Chuffa, a podcast for smart, sexy people who love to have fun. Is that you? Yes, of course, it is you. Come on, welcome. My therapist told me that I'm a hummingbird, a strong, muscular hummingbird. So float with me as we cover it all. We're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about Houston. We're going to talk about food and what's hot right now and what bothers us. And we're going to interview someone interesting. We may even make a phone call and we will whisper together. It's going to be fun and it's going to feel fast. This isn't your Aunt Debbie's podcast and it's not your Uncle George's podcast. Is it your cousin Justin's podcast? Maybe, it depends. I don't know. What's his deal? Is this something you'd be into? It's worth a text. He's your favorite cousin after all. Here's the thing. Did you ask for this podcast? No. Do you need this podcast? Also no. But will you listen to this podcast again and again? Maybe? Yeah? Come on. I hope so. I need this. I'm a white man in my 40s. Please listen to my pod. So buckle up, bucko. Or don't. It's your life. Don't let a mid-podcast host dictate your life's buckling strategy. Life's short, so something YOLO. There are many important items to discuss, so let's dive right into the first segment. Welcome to Chuffa.
Pitch, bitch.
Hi, Sharks. My name is Mike Conti, and both of my grandmas are dead. They went into that sweet goodnight years ago. One went before the Twin Towers fell, and the other more recently, soon after the COVID-19 social distancing times. I miss them so much. One of my grandmas was so nice. I miss her calling me her special boy, her big boy, her sweet boy who could do no wrong. When I committed a tax fraud, she blamed the IRS for being too uptight and told me not to sweat it. She said it was America's fault for changing, and she even helped pay for my legal bills. My other grandma was kind of mean. She watched my weight closely and let me hear about it when I looked chunky. I miss her stern approach and slight yet consistent disappointment driving me to self-improvement. Sometimes, when I was alone at night with my brain thoughts, I'd think of them. And that's when it hit me. I don't want therapy. I want a grandmother. No, not a new grandmother. I want someone else's grandmother, temporarily. I want to rent a grandmother. And that's why I founded GrandmaBNB. GrandmaBNB is the world's first and only grandma sharing economy. It's like Airbnb, but instead of renting a cabin in Tahoe, you rent Irene from Sarasota, who still has AOL and does not understand Venmo. Sharks, you can join me on this geriatric journey for $200,000 in exchange for 10% of GrandmaBNB. Here's how it works. You rent out your grandma for a variety of tasks. For just $69.99, your GrandmaBNB will send you a birthday card that is religious for some reason, printed off an old Epson printer, written in shaking handwriting like she summoned the words from a spirit realm, and includes a crisp $5 bill. It's like, Grandma, what the fuck am I supposed to do with only $5, you old wench? Like, thanks for the one can of Coors Light. I can't stay mad at you, Grandma. Love you. For $499, you unlock the weekend grandma experience. It begins with a long, confusing story about her neighbor's hip replacement. Then you pray. Then you watch Wheel of Fortune and listen to her complain that Ryan Seacrest is, quote, more ethnic, end quote, than Pat Sajak. And then it ends with you helping her log into Facebook. But the real magic, that's in the $999 Tough Love package. Your chosen GrandmaBNB will passively aggressively clean your house while muttering about the old country, serve a mysterious casserole that's like 70% cabbage, brag that she never watches TV, but then she'll watch 4 hours of Judge Judy, inform you she daydreams about fighting her neighbor who took her sweet time returning her bundt cake can in 2006. Sharks, GrandmaBNB is not just a service, it's a movement. It's about filling the grandma-shaped hole in your soul. It's about bringing comfort, chaos, and the energy from 3 generations ago into a world that's forgotten how to fold a fitted sheet. It's about real human connection, but one with an onion smell and outdated opinions. Because at the end of the day, sometimes you don't need advice from a therapist, a coach, or a TikTok life guru. You need someone to look you in the eye and say, "Oh, sweetie, you had so much potential. What happened?" I miss my grandmas for so many reasons, sharks, but now for another. I wish I could monetize them. So, sharks, who's ready to put on their granny panties and invest in GrandmaBNB?
End the segment, damn it. Whispers.
Hey, quick PSA. If you see the palm tree in my name, next to my name, if you see that little emoji tree swaying gently in the digital breeze, do not slack me. That is a visual cue that I am on PTO and likely doing one of 3 things: drinking, sleeping, or actively trying to forget what Slack even is, or who you are, or what our organization does collectively. And yet here we are, ping. Quick cue when you got a sec. Babe, I'm on a beach. My seconds are not available right now. Do you want to know what's better than a Slack message while someone's on PTO? An email. Pew! Mind blown. That dusty old medium still works. It's quiet. It's polite. It waits in line like a civilized grown-up. Because honestly, when you Slack someone on PTO, what you're really saying is, hey, I know you're off, but this is more important. More important than time with family, your blood pressure, your tan lines. Excuse the phrase, but it's giving control issues. My emergency is universal. Just in case you're checking Slack. From now on, let's follow PTP, Palm Tree Protocol. The digital palm tree means send an email, not a ping, not a you back yet, not a no obligation, but wanted to share this. Let's respect the digital palm tree and have an excellent summer. There's work to be done, yes. It'll get done. But right now, I just need to forget that Slack is a thing. I need to put on my bathing suit and be out by that beach and be thinking about anything other than whatever that bullshit is that you just sent my way. Thanks.
End segment. Boring prank call.
Thank you for calling discountmags.com. Your call is important to us. This call may be monitored or recorded for quality and training purposes.
Ooh, yeah.
Hi, thank you for contacting Discount Mags. How can I help you today?
Wanted to subscribe to a few magazines I saw on your website.
Okay, yeah. The only thing is that we don't take card information over the phone, so we can guide you through on how to purchase, but we wouldn't be able to do it for you.
Okay. Can I ask, there were some magazines that I know are out there. They're on the niche side, but I'm curious if you guys carry them or not, if I can subscribe through you.
Yeah, what's the first magazine title?
It's called Softcore Strategy.
Soft Core?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me one moment to look that up. Let's see here. So it doesn't look like we currently are offering that one.
Okay. All right. What about tongue?
How do you spell that? Just so I have it correct.
Sure. TONGUE.
I see we only have the digital version of that one.
Oh. What's the price on that?
So that one looks to be $25.65 for 1 year.
$25.65 a year. Okay, good to know. All right, last one. Lip meat.
That one we don't currently have available. I know that.
All right, so if I wanted to subscribe to Tongue Digital, it's best to do it on the website. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And when you're purchasing that, they're all still available because they do go up and down off of the website very often.
Okay. Can I ask one more? It's called Yes Daddy.
Yeah.
Yes Daddy.
Let's see here. That one we don't either. We don't have that one available.
All right, cool. So lip meat, no. Yes Daddy, no. But tongue you have. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Of course. Yeah, you have a good one.
You too. Happy 4th.
You as well.
Tongue exists.
End the segment, damn it. Big Leaguer.
Big Leaguer is where we're joined by someone at the peak of their powers, someone who has reached a high level of accomplishment in their field, and we talk with them in hopes their insight propels our marketing, sales, art, and business acumen forward. Today we are joined by Riley Fries, the hardest working woman in the Houston fitness scene. She's been leading HIIT classes at Barry's for almost 2 years and ride indoor cycling for just about a decade. During a class recently, she coined a phrase that I'm now using as my personal mantra, which is do whatever you need to do to get ready for what's coming next. Towel off, drink some water, fix your tits. It's time to go. Riley, thank you for joining us here on Chuffa.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Okay, before we begin, I need you to tell my millions of listeners that I am a world-class rider, elite athlete, mega strong, not somebody who leaves every class in a flop sweat. Can you do that for me?
Absolutely. Hardest worker in the room. Never wears pink shorts to class. Definitely doesn't have a personality. No, you are truly one of my favorite clients.
Thank you. Notice you said favorite, but not one of the best riders, but that's okay.
I didn't say that.
No, honestly, there's a lot of your classes where rhythm is needed, and that's not necessarily my forte. But I do work hard. I do work hard.
I do think that you've got the rhythm down. I let you ride in the front row, so I think we're good to go.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, so here's why I wanted to have you on, for a lot of reasons. But I want to look real quick at Ride, indoor cycling. There are classes there all day, every day. There are 2 competitive spin studios within 3 blocks of Ride, literally. At least a dozen gyms within a half-mile radius. There is a Peloton bike in 1 out of every 8 homes in Houston. Yet every one of your classes is full. It's waitlisted. It's got people who have a lot of options that choose to do business and choose to work out with you. And it's the exact same at Barry's. So with so many options for fitness, why do you think people come to your class and keep coming back?
I think first and foremost, I don't just teach a class. I think something that's always resonated with me in fitness growing up, I played sports. I played soccer growing up. And to me, what I loved about playing sports is that there's a group aspect to it, and you're not a lone ranger by yourself. You have people that you're working with, you have friends, and you learn to make friends, and you learn to be on a team from a very young age. And so when I stopped playing soccer and I got into the corporate world, I missed that feeling of camaraderie and competition and winning. And so I try to bring that aspect to everything I do, but most importantly in fitness. And so I feel like I don't just teach a class to get paid. I feel like I genuinely want to know my clients. I want to know what they're doing, what their life is like outside, so that I can bring that connection outside of the room into the class. So there's a level to my connection and commitment to my community that I've built over the years that I feel like translates, and that's what people feel connected to me for.
That resonates because it does feel different in a Riley class compared to something that feels a little bit more like a one-off.
Yeah.
I think a really interesting thing that I think about is your class has to work for somebody who is in their first class and then somebody who is literally on their 1500 class and they're on like
or 4,000.
Yeah, right, exactly. And they're
Yes.
on bikes next to each other.
Yeah.
What's your approach to having an environment where it works for that experienced person that is really into fitness and has been on that journey for a long time and somebody who's literally on day one?
I believe that a good instructor will not just be on press play, they're reading and watching the room. And as someone who is paying attention, you should notice if someone is falling behind. And your job as a good instructor is to coach them to be able to eventually ride with the best person in the room. So you constantly have to be giving modifications or advancements for everyone. But also, most importantly, you do have to drop your ego as an instructor and remember that if someone's not great, they're not doing that on purpose to you. And
Right.
you'll see that a lot in spin specifically because it is rhythm based and it is very noticeable if someone's off beat. And it is very uncomfortable if someone is on that bike right in front of you and they're doing whatever they want.
Sure. Yeah.
You have to remember that if you can drop your ego and focus on the fact that we have no idea what these people are doing or what their life is like outside of this class.
Yeah.
And your job and your number one priority is to teach to the class as a whole. So all you can do and all that's in your control is to modify for the people that need it, advance the people that need it.
Okay.
And if you can stay in that lane, I feel like eventually people come back and they do get stronger and they do go from that one class to 4,000 classes.
Right.
If you're Esther.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so Esther is a literal Guinness Book World Record holder.
She's amazing.
And she is so, I love riding behind her. A, because she's tiny.
She's very
and
small.
so I can, you know
Tiny
what I mean?
and mighty.
Yes.
We call her tiny and mighty.
Right. So like I still have line of sight on you and what you're doing. But then also because if I get off track for even a second, I know, I just need
she's
to
never going to miss
get
a
in
beat.
line with Esther.
Oh yeah. And she's a great, and that's the thing too, like, everyone has a first class. I mean, I remember my first class, it was absolutely awful, but I'm also extremely competitive that I was like, no, I will get this.
Yeah,
I will come back.
sure.
You can't be good the first class that you take. And Esther is a product of that. She obviously wasn't amazing the first time she took class, but I think she just celebrated her 4,401 classes on Saturday in my class.
For her.
I know. It's
Well, I'm on
amazing.
150, not to brag.
Not to
but
brag,
Yes,
but-
she's done that like literally the last 6 months. And I do think that there is something to that, not putting a lot of pressure on those first timers. You give instruction, but there's not an expectation that like you're going to be good at this right out of the gate.
Yes. I mean, obviously I've taught a million classes at this point now, and I can be hard on myself and say sometimes I was just not performing at my best for probably a first timer if they were in my class, you know?
Yeah.
But I try to make an effort that if someone is new, to meet them before class or catch them right after.
Right.
Because I do think point of connection, if someone feels seen, I think it makes a difference for me if I'm going with someone somewhere else. I mean, I think it's a compliment if someone comes up to you after class and asks you, "Oh, you did great," or "How are you? Like, you don't live here. Like, who are you?"
Right.
And that could be the only connection that someone has all day long. I mean,
Yeah.
again, we don't know what
Yeah.
people do for a living
Yeah.
or what they do outside of that
Yeah.
workout. So making an effort to make a human connection goes a long way.
It does. Okay, so I'm oversimplifying, but for me, your class nails two big things. One, it's technically sound. I always know what I'm supposed to be doing and how to get the most out of my hour. Two, the vibe is great. I'm having fun. I'm being pushed in a positive direction. I doubt you were amazing at both from day one. So what came first? What was that journey like?
Wow. Let's talk about how I even started at Ride. So I had a friend that I used to do bottle service with when I was like 21. And at the time I was working in real estate, and she said, my friend is opening a spin studio. She had group text our little group of girlfriends that worked in the club together. We were still friends. At the time, I think I was 25. And she said, I have a friend opening a spin studio. Would anyone be willing to help her just for a little while until she gets a front desk staff? I said, yeah, I'll go work there. So I just was literally working the front desk staff for about 3 months. And then they were having auditions, and Taryn, the owner,
Sure.
was like, you should try out. You should definitely try out. And I thought, okay, well, she's asking me to try out, then obviously I'll make it.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm an overly confident middle child. So I was like, okay, yeah. So I try out, obviously don't make it the first time. Zero background in fitness other than just like growing up playing soccer, but never teaching ever.
Okay.
So naturally my ego was shot, 25 years old, got my feelings hurt. And I didn't think I was going to try out again, but she was like, we're going to have auditions again. And I really do think that you should just stick with it and try out one more time. So then I did. And then I did make it, but I was awful. I mean, of course I could ride physically, but I didn't have, of course, any background. I didn't have any real coaching.
Yeah.
And at the time we only had maybe 4 instructors.
Okay.
So not a lot of competition or differential aspects of who I could follow as an instructor. Everyone was kind of very like simple, basic, and so then I thought, okay, well, who has the highest numbers? Who's the best instructor? And I'll just copy her until I can kind of find my flow. And that at the time was Taryn.
Yeah.
So I did. I sat in her class and I just took notes every time, every day.
Oh, good for you.
I just like took notes, sat in the corner, wrote down everything she said. And then at the time I was like, okay, well, I can't be exactly like Taryn,
right?
Because then I just look like a copycat. So who else can I copy? So then I downloaded Peloton, just the app on my phone, and I didn't have a bike at my house, but I would just write down everything they said, and I would just, because I wanted to sound different than Taryn, so that I had my own style. I did that for about 6 months, where I was just copying until I felt comfortable enough and not thinking about the beat. So I would say first and foremost, the thing that came the most natural to me, I mean, I'm sure you can tell I have a big personality.
I can,
Just a little bit.
It's a big reason why you're here. Yeah.
So I definitely had the personality aspect down to the point where I kind of had to put that on pause so that I could focus, which has always honestly been my issue with everything in my life.
Okay.
Like, I'm too silly, goofy, like crazy that I don't really focus on the important stuff.
Right.
I'd like goof off a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And so at Rye, that's exactly what it was. I was like high energy, making jokes, missing cues, but playing great music.
Okay, sure.
So
yeah.
that aspect was there.
Yeah.
And then I had to like mature a little bit, reel that down, get really good at the product and the baseline of the format. And then I brought back my personality.
Okay.
But it
I
took
love
me
that.
a while.
That makes sense. And sometimes I've been in classes where it's a newer instructor and I do feel like they're trying to follow the Riley playbook, but I think they take the misstep of trying to go for that vibe thing first.
Yeah.
But then you're in the classes where I don't 100% know what we're supposed to be doing in this very moment. It's so funny, but the difference between making a direction like in this 6-word phrase, or I'm going to say this 2 words instead of this 4, and it makes 100% difference.
It makes a huge difference. And just like anything and any job, it just takes time. It takes practice, and it also just takes effort. And I think a lot of times in fitness, you see this everywhere in fitness. Most of the time, it's a part-time job. So people treat it as a part-time job, which is fair.
Yes.
Okay. Right. I get that.
Sure.
But if you do want to be good, I mean, my dad has said this to me a million times. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So whether it's a part-time job or a full-time job, I would still treat it like a full-time job. So I don't want to be bad at anything.
It's interesting. I've worked on brands and products that are like buzzy and vibey, but if it's not technically sound, it's going to be short-lived. And then vice versa. It's like a quality product, but nobody feels positive about it. It's going to die off. And I love that approach that you take, because when you're in a class that is led by somebody who has a part-time mentality, I think that reads immediately, and it does kind of turn you off a little bit. Yeah,
well, at the end of the day, boutique fitness is not cheap. And if you feel like your instructor is not giving you the quality of what you're paying for, you get a little bit pissed off.
I do, yeah. Is it hard to take that all-in approach 24/7, 365? I mean, you have to be so generous with your energy. And I would imagine that would be tough to give your all on like a random Tuesday at 7:30 a.m.
Yeah, it's exhausting for sure. I think you have to find a good balance of giving yourself downtime to reset, because socially it's a lot. At one point I was teaching 16 classes a week, 16 spin classes a week. Roughly there's 40 people in each class. That's a lot of face time. And then you have a class right after or before your class. So that could be 40 more people before or after as well that you're running into that you might know.
Sure.
It can feel really overwhelming if you don't take breaks to kind of reset. And if you don't, you really feel it. And then it becomes extremely anxious to go to work, because you're like, I just don't want to talk to anyone today. Yeah. And I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've cried in the back room before teaching a class. And I still truly believe that it is a job and people are paying that premium price. And if you are crying in the back room, that is fine. But wipe your tears and show up.
It's funny that you cry before class because I've cried after your class before.
Have you?
Yeah, just out of what did I... No, you know.
I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good release, hopefully.
No, it is. It's
Unless you're just crying because I've bullied you through the class.
No.
Which I do tend to do sometimes.
What was that? Yeah, I do react to coaching.
You do.
You know what I mean? Like, so
I definitely bully you a little bit at Barry's, which I like to do.
There's been a time or two when I went in to the class being like, oh, I have some other stuff going on later today. I'm not going to push it. And you sniff it out and like call me out. I'm like, motherfucker, like, here we go. And this is actually a good transition because I want to talk a little bit about in class. How much of your plan and instruction do you adapt in the moment? I'm thinking about if the class energy starts at a collective 5, do you know what levers that you need to pull to get to the class to a 10, or is it less calculated than that?
So I've always thought it was a little bit cringe when the instructor says, like, asks for too much class participation. You know, that can get a little awkward. Like you said, for example, there are times where you come to class and you're just not into it. And sometimes everyone in the class feels like that. And you don't really know why, but you can read that is the energy. And you can go once and kind of try and read the room. And if they're not giving it to you, I'm not going to ask again because obviously that's not the vibe. So then your job as a coach, or how I manage my class, is that if that is the vibe and we're not really going to be interactive today, then I hone in on like what would make me feel good if I wasn't trying to whoop, holler, scream, really flip my hair that day. What would I need? And I just always revert back to coaching because that's how I was raised. If you just work hard and you put your head down, you're going to feel something when you leave. Whether that's a good feeling or a bad feeling, like there's obviously something you're suppressing or you need to move through your body. So just work hard. Okay. And so then I just coach physically. But I wouldn't say necessarily it's like, oh, okay, they're not feeling it, so I'm going to add an extra song or
right.
I'm going to change my fast jog to this. I don't touch my playlist once it's done. I just go with it.
Okay.
And then I do try to mess with people a lot sometimes. I do like to bully people a little bit.
Are there people in the room that you feel like if I get this person going to another level, he or she will collectively raise? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I definitely do think that there's certain people in the room that when they're there, people can feel their energy. I'm trying to think who. Oh, you know, Carrie, he rides on Saturdays, but he like always barks on the sidebar.
Oh yeah. Love Carrie.
Like you can't ignore Carrie when he's in the room. And like you either love him or you hate him. And Carrie knows that. Sure. But he's gonna bring a certain type of energy to the class.
I like riding in that guy's area because he is very aggro and that gets me going. Yeah, cool.
And there's definitely certain people that I know if they're having a good day and they have good energy, it's gonna be a great class because people can feel that and like read it. I mean, that's energy in general.
You have said some profound things in class. I do find you very motivational, legitimately. And not a lot of people are good at that. I have seen it come across as super cheesy if you're not being authentic, or super flat if you're not delivering that message in the right way. How much of that inspirational talk track is predetermined versus coming to you in the moment?
Now, none of it. Ooh. So I grew up very competitive. My dad was really hard on me in a good way. I played on a boys soccer team growing up for a couple of years, and then I played up because I was really small. So my dad was like, you're not going to make it unless you elevate the way that you work out. My dad was my inspiration motivationally, spiritually, emotionally, and I would do anything that he told me to do. And we would always watch Rocky and we would watch, he was, my sister and I are 18 months apart, and she's massive compared to me. Like, she is a monster. And he used to put her on one side of the couch, me on the other side of the couch, and he'd be like, WWE. And we would wrestle. And he'd be like, in the left corner, you have this. And so, like, I have always just been raised off of effort, and I've raised off of motivation. I also was watching the women's soccer team when Brandi Chastain was, like, ripping her shirt off. And I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. And I think I just really resonated with that type of athletic motivation. I don't feel like I'm spiritual. I don't have that connection as deeply as I guess I should say religiously. Okay, I'm probably not someone that's going to give you like a gospel sermon and a
Right.
spin
No,
class.
yeah.
But I'm definitely someone that resonates really well with like a motivational.
Yes, 100%.
Coaching.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can feel like it is spiritual.
What I love is you have a lot of variety when it comes to how you motivate. I've heard you say, if you want to look better naked, turn up the resistance here.
Yeah.
Right? And then I've also heard you say, if you drop your weights now, you're training yourself to quit in real life. That's a wide range, and it works.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean, that's a really good point. It's true.
And I've borrowed from your style before. This is one of the reasons why I love taking your classes. But so I'm in marketing, work with a big sales team, enable them on our products, and need to train them up to be able to sell our products to people. And I'll basically take the approach, do you want to make more money?
Yes.
Then listen to what I have to say versus, hey, this product will help our customers. It'll get them more secure. It'll get them more efficient. I feel like you need that variety because people respond to different things.
People definitely respond. It's the same way with learning. Some people are visual learners and some people are not. If you only teach in a one-way track, it's very hard to resonate and land on a platform where everyone feels connected to you. So you have to have multiple ways of doing things.
I want to talk about your socials because on your Instagram, a lot of your stories are reposts of clients who post about your class and how awesome it was. It does a great job of creating FOMO. So I'll, see a bunch of stories from people sharing how awesome your class was. And I was like, damn, I missed it. How intentional are you about promoting yourself on social media?
To be honest, I don't really think about it that much. If I'm in the mood to post, I post.
Okay.
I don't look at the number of followers and think, oh my God, I really need to get to like 5,000. Sometimes social media to me can feel like a little overwhelming. Like it's just a lot. And there's a lot going on. But also sometimes I'm really into it and I think I'm like funny and then I'll post stuff and I'm like, okay, I need to chill out. But yeah, I don't take it that seriously.
Okay.
If I need to fill some classes or there's like some spots open, I'll post and usually it fills and like, it's fine, but I don't overthink it.
I have loved our conversation.
I have too.
Your interview, however, is not over.
Okay, are we going to play a game?
Yes.
Yes.
So Chuffa is the name of the podcast.
Okay.
It's the name of my yet to be written movie.
Love it.
About a robot on the fritz, a grieving old man, and a domino event.
Okay.
It's a nonsense word. Chuffa, Chuffa.
Sounds like Chewbacca kind of in my
A
head.
little bit, yeah. It's I just like the way it sounds off the tongue, you know? Chuffa.
Yeah.
So I have two options for you. We're gonna go through acrostic questions.
Okay.
Meaning you're gonna choose between two options.
Got it.
Once you make a choice, there's no
going back.
backsies.
So backsies.
If you do not answer the question that you've selected, you will be triple banned from the
Can't
Chuffa
ever come
platform.
back. Can't ever come back.
Correct. So are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's start with C.
Okay.
Your options are cheeky or creative.
Obviously cheeky.
I was hoping you'd answer that. Okay. On a daily basis, you ask people to push their physical limits to the absolute max. And sometimes their wardrobe is incapable of handling all that movement. How many accidental flashings and wardrobe malfunctions have you witnessed in your career?
Shit. Is this just between like instructors alone? I mean, Kayla alone, I've seen her nipples at least 7 times in the last week. A lot. I mean, there's a lot of girls that, yeah, there's a lot.
Okay. You ready for the next one?
Yes.
You. Unexpected or unusual?
Let's do unusual.
What's the most bizarre thing you've had to deal with in the middle of a fitness class?
I mean, one time I had to teach a spin class. Somehow the power was out, so we had a boom box, and they were like, just teach the class off like a Bose speaker, but it was like a pill. And I was like, the whole class. I mean, it was sold out. It was 5 a.m.
Right.
I had to teach the whole class off that thing, and I didn't even have a mic because obviously we didn't have power. So I was screaming on the stage off of something that was no louder than our phone.
Okay.
It was awful. I hated it.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that has happened that is just really terrifying is anyone passing out in a class.
Yeah. That's happened at Ride and Berries.
I haven't. Oh yeah, I did. No, actually, what's terrifying at Barry's is people flying off the treadmill.
Sure. Yeah.
And then trying to get back on immediately after and then flying off again.
Okay.
We had someone one time wear sweatpants to the studio.
Okay.
And then they fell and tried to hold on, and their sweatpants just like went down to their ankle, but like they were just in their underwear. And then they haven't been back since, but yeah.
That's good.
I think that would have been one of the most uncomfortable things that have happened in class. But
Yes. If that were to happen to me, I would move at least a county or two out. That's wild. I have seen some people. I've been next to a woman who I think was probably a first timer and just kind of like laid down on her bike, was just kind of like, all right, I'm done. And like, I don't know if she knew how to get out of her bike.
Yeah.
But
I've seen that a million times, and I have to go walk over to them because I'm like, you can't lay like that because you could pass out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing that is scary about spin specifically, is that if you are clipped in
Right.
and you do pass out, you're clipped in.
Sure.
So your body can fall, but your feet
But
will
you're
stay in place, and it's so dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be scary for sure.
Don't pass out if you next time
I
you
don't
take
know what's
Riley's
worse.
class.
What would you rather? Would you rather be clipped into a bike and pass out,
Or-
or fall and have your
Yeah.
sweatpants fall down to your
Yeah.
ankle at Barry's?
I think for me, fall out. I've got great legs. I'm not
True.
afraid to, show them off.
Yeah.
So I may intentionally do that actually in a
then
future
there you
class.
go. If I
you know?
see you, okay, I'll just give you a little wink, nod. He's fine.
Right in the
Don't
center
worry
of the
about
red
him.
room
Yeah.
there. Oh, wow, everybody.
Mike just fell.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we have F. You ready for F?
Let's do it.
Flawed or first time?
Let's do flawed.
Let's do flawed. Tell us what your biggest weakness is as a professional.
Oh yeah, being too nice.
Ooh.
There's so many times where people say things that are inappropriate to me, like men, or people invite me places and I feel bad, so I go, but I just don't really want to go.
Yeah.
But in general, I have a hard time being rude in those situations.
Yeah.
So
No, I worried about that in inviting you on Chuffa. I was like, am I crossing a line here? Like,
No,
and I
never.
asked, you were
No.
immediately like, yes, but then I didn't have my act together. So I hope, okay.
I'm super happy to be here. Absolutely.
You're having fun?
I'm having a blast.
A, Chuffa. A. So we have ambition or advice.
Let's go ambition.
What else do you want to accomplish in your career that you haven't yet?
I think eventually I can't ride a bike forever, right? So I think career-wise, the only way to go is to eventually move myself into a higher role that doesn't necessarily involve teaching. And I've dabbled with the idea of just consulting for other businesses and consulting for instructors that want to elevate, because I think although I may not have ever done Pilates or whatever, I think there are like 3 pillars of things that you need to be as an instructor in order to be a good coach.
Yeah.
So and I think I can train pretty much anyone to do that.
You should do that. I'm always like, there's been some folks where I'm like, oh, I wish you just took like 5 or 6 of Riley's classes and talked with her, and that would get you to the next level. Because there's a lot of people that have that potential, but they're just not there yet.
Yeah, there's been so many people at Ride over the years that have come in and like, oh my God, you're so good.
Yeah.
You just have to try a little bit more. And they just don't.
Yeah.
Or they're like really enjoy fitness, so they, in order to make it, they're working like 5 different fitness jobs, and they just spread themselves too thin, so they never really get good at that one thing.
Right.
But that would be actually my advice to people that do want to make it in fitness. If you can, find something first, get really, really good at it, and then start working other places. Because once you're good at one thing, you can pretty much like level up. You can learn the modality, but like your personality, connection, physicality, like all of it will just like kind of staple on to what you're doing next.
Okay. I love that. Is there something to momentum, meaning when you're a new instructor and you're on the schedule, you only have, it feels like a period of time before you get cold. Is that a thing?
It's definitely a thing. I mean, I think about it a little bit like, I have a big family, a blended family, but there's 6 kids. And so anytime when we were growing up that someone was coming in to date one of the siblings, I'm like, you've only got like 3 chances.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're either in or
That's
you're
a great
out.
point.
And so, and that's kind of how it is. It's never, again, it goes back to the price of the product. If it's $10 and it was a really bad class, I'm like, whatever. I'll probably still come back. I can teach myself to work out, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're paying the price, and I think our community is so close knit at Ride that people talk.
Yeah.
And so, you know, your time frame is like 3 months, I think. Our managers would say 6, I say 3. Yeah. Because I just think now, if you're not good when you come on,
right,
or good enough to where people can see, no, I'm going to give them a month and I'll come back and try.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some people where you do take classes like that and you're like, I can see it. I can see it maybe getting better.
Yeah.
And then there's some people you take and you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Where is that going?
Yes.
And yeah, you have it's unfortunately a really small window to get good.
Yeah. It's like that with a lot of stuff. In general, get good real super fast.
Sink or swim.
Sink or swim.
Yeah.
Okay, Riley, we've got a bonus A because we've been having so much fun. I'm going to allot you.
I feel like we needed tequila or something, but it's only 10 a.m.
I know.
So.
All right. I've had 2 margaritas before you came over, but we'll wait. Okay. What's the best way for someone who listens to this to support you?
Yeah, the best way I think for people to support me is don't just bring yourself, but bring people that are scared to work out on their own to class. I think it takes a lot for people that are new to fitness or just had a baby or maybe gained some weight, went through a hard time to come back to fitness. So something that I've always loved in fitness is watching people grow over time. And so I think the biggest way to support me is to help me find those people.
Yeah.
And let's get them on our train. Yeah. Let's build our community.
You have talked about, I've heard that you referenced this in class about, this is Ride specific, but it's the same at Barry's. Like, let's get you from the corner of the room, the bike in the corner, to like front and center. Why is that important to you?
It goes back to growth. My mindset that I was raised with from my dad. You may not always be dealt the cards that are going to be easiest for you to be successful. Yeah. But if you try, effort goes a lot further than talent. So it's important to me to see that I have that impact on people and that I can encourage people and motivate them to believe in themselves to do more. So that's why I really urge people to move from the back row to the middle, to the front, to the sidebar, and then hopefully to the stage. And that's metaphorically speaking too, not just outside, like not just in a spin class. Sure. But I think you can build a lot of confidence from feeling good about yourself physically. And that can translate to your job and your relationship.
100%. Yeah.
And your friendships. So that's it. It's why I'm in fitness for sure.
Amen. Well, thank you, Riley Fries. I mean, go see Riley at Ride Berries. Follow her on Instagram, and you won't regret going to a class. Trust me, I've taken a lot of classes with her, and it's a blast. It is.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
I had such a blast. Well, should we do it again next week?
Well, let's do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
There's some stuff that I was like, I'll next time I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, with margaritas, we'll be fine.
Yeah. You saw me reach for it. And then I was like,
You wanted to.
It was like, oh, sweet.
I'm here
She's being sweet. So, anyways, all right. Thanks, Riley.
Yeah.
End segment. Websites for sale.
In life, there are only 2 things, money and websites. You need one of those things to get the other. And you also need the other thing to make more of the other thing. Does that resonate? I sense some confusion, so I'm going to try again. Here's what I'm saying. If your business doesn't have a website, then it is a homeless business. Your business has a beard, and not a cool beard like the one that your local barista sports. A matty, patchy beard. A beard that hides your business's incredible bone structure. So let's get your business clean shaven. Let's slap some aftershave lotion on your business. Let's get your business in the boardroom. Let's get your business a brand spanking new website. I have found some incredible new websites for you to purchase, dear listener, for your business. Suck up these URLs. Snag up these sites. Use them. I, Michael Conti, personally verify that these URL domains are available for purchase. That is an advantage that you receive as a Chuffa listener. So here we go. I've got a fresh batch just for you, just out of the internet oven. Smell that? It's opportunity and success. Write these down, but do so on the internet. Here we go. punishyourcat.com. It's needed. largeman.net. inexpensive.bargains. Yes, that's available to real URL. Wow. therokueel.com. Brand awareness. sellingmyfood.com. hall-o-fame.com. Are you kidding with that one? That one's really good, actually. quiznosthroughtheyears.com. On that one, you can spell through the long way or the U way. sexypogplayers.net. sexypogplayers.net. It's a mouthful, but once you get that mouth full, you'll be on your way. don'taimyamerica.com. 2015 ChevyMalibu.com. governmentitems.biz. ketchuppleasure.com. Once again, one of my many listeners from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, ketchup capital of the world, should snag that one up. It's daletime.biz. I hope you guys are snagging these up. You've got to take this serious if you want respect. And if you want a website URL. Okay, we're 3 episodes in here with websites for sale, and I do think that it's time for you guys to share your success story. Send me your case studies, your use cases. Send me the story of you purchasing and snagging up and sucking up one of these URLs and becoming a, I don't know, millionaire. I'm sure it's happened given my reach. So email me your success at chuffapod@gmail.com. That's chuffapod@gmail.com.
End segment. Ministry of Munch.
Testing 89, test 899.
I'm here with you.
Test. You have to say test 899.
Test 899.
Very good. The Ministry of Munch is sponsored by Hunger. Did your wife? I wonder if they picked it up on that. Jax is here too. The Ministry of Munch is sponsored by Hunger. Did your wife riff on a recipe and add purple cabbage to a crock pot meal? And now you've just got a huge bowl of purple mush for dinner? Then you understand hunger, combat hunger, by listening closely to Ministry of Munch, where we review a restaurant and talk about food. For this segment, I am joined by my forever dinner companion, the lovely, the graceful, the sophisticated Dr. Elizabeth Conti. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you today?
I'm good. That's too long. I was waiting for your sound effect. I thought you were going to do the sound effect, but then
I was waiting for you to acknowledge.
Our cat's here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the mix
He
here.
really likes to be with us.
Before we dig in or dive in, huge news. In Chuffa 2, we had a great conversation about Loro, the restaurant Loro, a favorite. And in that conversation, we mentioned that Loro does not have a kids menu. Shortly after the episode was published, guess what? Loro added a kids menu. It's the power of the platform. I think what happened is they listened to Chuffa and they thought, we got to get on this immediately. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think that Chuffa had anything to do with it, but exciting nonetheless.
It's in the zeitgeist,
Right.
right? Like, we needed a kids menu and we weren't the only ones.
Right.
And they sensed that.
Our vision is aligned with the world's vision.
We're not that unique, is I guess what we're saying.
Oh, I went the other way with like, we're thought leaders, but you went with we're basic. Okay, well, today we're discussing a new restaurant. So this is going to be our first time chatting about a restaurant that we don't frequent often, at least not yet. So we recently went to Agnes and Sherman on 19th Street. Houstonians may recall it occupies the space held for a long time by Alice Blue.
Also a great restaurant.
Love Alice Blue. I think the owner retired or wanted something new, so they shut down. They painted everything yellow, revamped the interior, and they're going. So from the website, Agnes and Sherman's mission is to deliver a nostalgic, whimsical, and inclusive dining experience through the lens of Asian American food. And by doing so, expand the definition of American culture. That's bold.
It is. Yeah. I see the vision.
Yeah.
That tracks. That makes sense.
So Agnes and Sherman weaves together two uniquely American food genres, Asian American and diner, into a menu that is whimsical, nostalgic, and genre-defying. They've got some big aspirations in their copy.
They do.
Through the lens of American Asian food, we hope we expand the definition of American culture. Okay, they already said that. Repeated. You got to watch your copy, watch your marketing copy. Don't say the same thing twice. Anyways, first impression, Agnes and Sherman. We go there for a dinner date. Tell us what you're thinking when you walk through those doors.
Well, I'm thinking I did love Alice Blue. It really held a special place in our heart. Because,
Right.
And I'll tell the listeners why.
Yes.
Because when the pandemic happened and we both started working from home, every now and then we would go out to lunch.
Yes.
Because we were both working from home.
Right.
Usually on a Friday, we'd squeeze it in. I'd have my VA phone. I'd be checking it, but we'd be out to lunch and we would go to Alice Blue. And I liked it because it was very close to our house, but it felt special, right? It was like a notch up from fast casual.
Sure.
So anyway, I was sad when it closed down because I thought they had good food and I always like going there. I love Asian food.
Yeah,
and
you do.
But I was skeptical about an Asian restaurant in that location.
Historic Heights, smack dab in the middle of 19th Street, which is like quintessential Heights.
Yeah, but it felt like the other restaurant was just like American fare.
Yeah.
This is a street that has a lot of antique shops and like things that cater a little bit to an older crowd. So I just wasn't sure. Like, this is a very trendy concept. This is an elevated concept.
So your thesis is old people that may like antiques don't like Asian food?
They may not understand the concept that you just read. But I was very curious about the concept. And so as we walk in, you immediately get, like, the decor is super cool. You immediately get the, like, diner references.
Yes.
Like, I pointed out there was a little side table that had the little lace curtain on it that, it doesn't scream Chinese restaurant. It screams sort of like 1989 diner.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very cool.
Yeah.
So like they definitely had their vision. They had a cool bar, lots of cool families there. Buzzin', diverse crowd, as is Houston. But I think in particular, I did notice that there were Asian families, Asian people checking out the restaurant. That's always a good sign, as we talk about when we go to Chinatown, etc. So
did you see any old people with a bag full of antiques?
No.
And they were just looking confused in the restaurant?
Well, no.
I still don't understand. I went into the restaurant just through the lens of Michael Conti. I wasn't thinking about the experience of a senior citizen who is stopping by to grab an item from yesteryear and then walk down because they're hungry and say, "Oh, I'm confused. This is a diner, but not like when I was a child." But yeah.
I mean, this is a street that had that very genuinely oldie-timey sandwich shop.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That place was bomb.
Like, this is a place that can hold Cartage and Cooley.
Carter and Cooley.
Right.
Bring it back.
And I mean, that place was legitimately old school. And I miss it.
Yeah.
And I miss, so, it's like a little bit of nostalgia.
Okay. So for you, this is a sign that like 19th is changing. This is a very trendy
it is. We got,
spot.
along with the waxing studio,
Yeah.
the sugaring studio,
Sure.
the lasering studio.
Yes.
Like, this is something different.
Right next door, you can get shaved,
Lasered and
lasered,
sugared.
sugared, and then bronzed. What do you think the old people think about that, huh? Looking across the street from the antique shop.
I mean, we could do a whole thing on 19th Street. Like, what's that cigar shop doing?
I think that's a front. I've never seen anybody go in or out.
I do think it's a front. And then the Casa Ramirez, which was really like a cultural center, is shutting down on 19th. So things are changing on the street.
Things are changing. Right. And this is a sign that things are changing.
Yes.
So we go in and we make an order, and we order, among other items, chilled cucumbers, shrimp toast, egg foo young, which is like a gumbo gravy with crawfish and rice. I liked the food. I thought it was all unique, and I get what they were going for. But I don't think you felt the same.
I really wanted to like it.
Yeah.
Because I really want this spot to I want it to become a fixture. I want to root for it. But here was my problem with the food. I definitely got the vision for what they were going for with each dish, but it was too much. It was too much oil, too much seasoning, too much salt, too much cornstarch in the gravy, because you're trying to be old school and put cornstarch in the gravy. Like, you know what I mean?
I do. In the moment, I liked it a lot, and I think I was reacting to the environment because it is a very fun, spot.
I had a delicious mocktail.
Yes. Afterwards, I was like, I like that, right? But the food wasn't as memorable as I wanted. I will give them an out because it is new, right? Or I'll give them a pass. I agree. There was some stuff that was over seasoned. I'll agree with you on that.
It was like over sauced, weirdly.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they are still in the mode of tweaking and figuring things out. So I'll be back. It's not a place that's like, this is a home run. This is our spot. We're going to come here on a rotation.
I worry. I do. Oh, by the way, how many times did our waiter tell us that they had signed a 10-year lease?
Yeah.
They're planning to stay.
They're committed.
But when you have such a specific theme and vision for your restaurant, I just worry that maybe the appeal isn't broad enough, but also maybe it's not a place that people come back to over and over and over again.
Ooh. Talk more about that.
Well, I hope for them it doesn't come across as gimmicky to a lot of people.
There may be something to that. Some of the other stuff on the menu, al pastor fried rice, which is also interesting because al pastor is not, Asian nor traditional diner food. They had salt and pepper fries, wok fried with garlic, shallot, and serrano.
Which we didn't get, but I'm sure were very good.
Yeah.
Can I say like a nerdy Houston restaurant thing?
Yes.
But that made me feel like we're really people in the know. So they did have this dish that was these rice cakes. But by rice cakes, they're like gnocchi sized and that same texture, but they're made out of rice.
Yeah.
With what kind of meat? It was beef, right? Beef. Yeah. And I was like, this reminds me of something. This reminds me of something I had. And then our waiter told me that the chef was inspired by this dish that was like a huge slam dunk at this other Houston restaurant, like UB Preserve.
Yeah, right.
That was goat with dumplings. And we ate that.
At UB Preserve.
And you and I disagreed about like exactly where and when we ate that, but I know we ate that.
Sure.
And I know it was like the thing on the menu that you had to get.
Yeah.
So now 10 years later,
right.
This is like echoing into this other menu done with Asian ingredients with this rice cake. So I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
It's
so here's, I think where I've landed with this place is it's worth a go. I think your mocktail, I wasn't drinking that night. You had a mocktail, but that was great. And the drinks seem to be made with purpose.
And a lot of Topo Chico.
A lot of Topo Chico.
It's a Topo Chico heavy cocktail menu, which I'm down for.
They have a good amount of appetizers. I think the next time I'll go back will be for like 2 drinks and an appetizer.
Yes.
And then we'll see where it goes.
It would be great for that. Drinks
Yeah.
and fries.
Yeah.
Drinks and one dish,
Right,
to
right.
share if it's
Yeah.
one of the entrees. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
And I think dinner is a possibility. This is one time we ordered 2 or 3 things. But I do agree that they may need to do some editing. Also, just in general, we're going to change American culture and going overboard with the seasonings and things like that. I think just scale it back a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
I think they're trying a little bit too hard.
Yeah. But they're coming out of the box. I think you have to make an impression. So hopefully in 4 months, 5 months, when the newness is worn off, the quality shines through a little bit more. But we'll be back to Agnes and Sherwin, but I don't think it has Lizzie's chime of approval. Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. TBD. You have mine. I did enjoy my experience there. So not all is lost, Agnes and Sherwin. You just have to do a little bit more with Dr. Lizzie. Anything else you want to say to the millions of listeners of Chuffa platform before we sign off on Chuffa 3?
Here's what I'll say. We're sitting here on a Thursday night.
Ow, ow.
And the kids are in bed.
Uh-huh.
And it's nice. It's nice to do this with you.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, signing off.
Bye-bye.
Hold on. I'm deciding what I'm cricketing myself there. I should have gone with this. No, not that. Gotta go air horn.
Always.
It's
For
always
every situation.
I'm just an air horn guy. That's my thing.
You should be.
All right. Ministry of Munch out.
End segment. H responds.
The H Responds is where I share the feedback from our last pod. You, the listener, tell me, the content creator, what's on your mind. Chuffa is a shared platform. This is your platform. So tell me how this platform could improve. DM me, fax me, text me, send me a package, and within the package is a Rubik Cube. Then when that Rubik Cube is completed, a little compartment pops out. And in that compartment, there's a note with a comment about what you thought about the podcast, as well as a little treat for me since I did an excellent job solving the cube. I've never solved a Rubik's Cube before, so it's a big feat for me, and I deserve a little treat. Or you could comment on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. For example, McKenna C., who may or may not be my little sister, commented on Spotify, "Fire Ep. Great interview with the Sushi King and great restaurant review with Dr. Conti. Keep them coming." Speaking about the interview of Phil Sins, aka the Sushi King, on episode 2, I also heard from someone who said, "I am forcing my nephew to listen to your interview with Phil as he decides which college and major he commits to." Love to hear that Chuffa is helping shape the next generation. I also received a text saying, "Chuffa is a perfect mix of absurd humor, the amazing Lizzie, and entrepreneurial spirit." Thanks for that one. That's kind of what I'm going for. So that was awesome to hear. People love Chuffa. They want to engage with this platform. If you're like them, reach out, slide into the DMs, or email me at chuffapod@gmail.com. Speaking of emails, let me check the inbox here. Oh, of course, we've got an email from Dale from Dallas who writes, "Are you trying to outdo Houston Sprawl by sprawling out your pod release dates? Why does it take so long to get these out? Don't you know most pods come out like every week or two? Literally LOLing on the grassy knoll. P.S. Cooper Flag is better than Kevin Durant." Listen, Dale, we've been over this before. We're gonna release pods. They'll get closer together eventually, but this is for everybody. Mandatory alert. You, listener, need to subscribe to Chuffa on your pod platform of choice. We'll eventually get more consistent in publishing cadence, but for now, you need to subscribe so you don't miss out on a single second of Chuffa. I'm also going to flirt with changing up the format so I can get more out on a consistent basis. So thank you very much. Reminder, chuffapod@gmail.com. If you want to reach out, that's CHUFFAPOD at gmail.com.
End segment. End pod. End transmission. End the fun. Until next time, Conti out.
Never Kobe, no HR, no need for Toby. This is free, no aching, homie. I ain't hoping for no trophy. I'm still focused on my homies. If you knew me back in 03, then I know you know me.
Chuffa's music is crafted by Dave Price, a talented Austin-based musician. Find him on Instagram at dpriceviolin.